kind of all happened around you. But they've got the OD Omni combo. At one point, it was completely unstoppable. I think it's a little bit tamer now, but I do still like the pick for TNC. And the big X factor for Fnatic is going to be this DJ Chen.
See what he can get done in the beginning stages of this game. He's going to move away from the rest of his team just to get some vision down, but he might run into the entire TNC team. In fact, he is about to. And Tim's, can he get close enough for an ensnare? That was the longest ensnare I think I've ever seen. They're running. They have Lunar Blessing. Kinetic Field misses. That is rather unfortunate. And now Fnatic are like, we could try to maybe fight this. That's the problem with trying to find a hero in the river that far away. He's pretty quick too, so Chen's able to get out of there. That's
yeah, poor Disruptor. I was hovering over his kinetic field, and Cuckoo cast that on absolutely the max of his range, but just unfortunately wasn't quite able to catch him. So DJ gonna survive. He'll be fine. Is he going to be doing some send back shenanigans in the off lane? You better believe that he will be. Universe is going to need help. Like I was saying, this tri lane is extremely potent on the TNC side, so the ability to have these few send backs and secure Universe that little bit of experience early on is going to be really important.
Just to point something out, TNC actually had a ward up here at the beginning of the game. Fnatic rotated up. They placed a ward down, which was spotted immediately. They saw the ward go from the inventory. This thing will get dewarded at some point in the very near future once a sentry comes out, which should hopefully be pretty soon for TNC. But they definitely pinged it. They pinged it numerous times, so they definitely know it's there.
Is this big camp blocked or not?
I think just barely. I'm pretty sure.
I think they should block it. Either it's a resource for Chen or it's a place where Underlord can set up stacks. So
that's the closest I've ever seen a ward to maybe not be blocked.
Yeah, we'll find out in 15 seconds. It's all right.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with yes, it's blocking it. We'll find out though. Ensnare into the bottom lane, the kinetic field. Pilot Eye's like, oh god. But they've got the static link, so we'll see. I mean, they did a lot of damage to Pi. The Raven was unable to really get in there and finish him off. He's level 1, so Lunar Blessing and of course getting linked stops you from really being able to do anything. So we'll see if you can't find some CS in the meantime.
I don't know if I necessarily agree with Raven backing down there, because I feel like if Envy tries to turn and fight them, one, they've got the creep wave, and two, the two supports still hit really hard. So maybe they could have gotten that kill on Pi, but either way, this is still a pretty good tri lane versus tri lane for TNC. So if DJ gets the right creeps, that's where he's a big nuisance, and even this Wild Wing is already going to be a bit annoying at the beginning.
Yeah, the Tornado comes out. They've got the toughness Sora giving the 3 armor to the Razor and whoever else is in the radius, so this will make things a little bit easier for Fnatic. They're going to back up. Tim's was running behind the tower. I'm not sure to what end. Maybe just checking out to see if the Wild Wing was nearby, but it looks like he's in a pretty good position sitting here in the trees. Still dancing away, throwing up the Tornado, and now TNC, they're just going to grab some runes. They're going to grab a DD rune, in fact, 2-minute rune spot down in the bottom rune area. If they can't use that to greater effect in finding a kill in this bottom lane.
Oh. What is Abed up to here? All right, he's sauntering back in, wants to maybe snag a couple of denies, or at least just get another harassing laser off, but Cuckoo's now in behind him.
They have kinetic field. They'll drop March, so
he's got double damage.
Yeah, I mean,
got the courier, get the kill, Cuckoo.
Are you kidding? That's pretty insane. And that's first blood. And TNC are pretty happy with that because Armo also got a Salve ferret out to him. So good stuff. Nice DD rune, Cuckoo. They have the DD for TNC strikes again, let me tell you.
Yeah. Man, that was... Abed was 100% dead. Couldn't have even tried for the TP out. I mean, Armo would have just walked up and imprisoned him, so... Oh boy, that is such a sick start for TNC. And the fact that they're willing to kind of ditch the tri lane for a second, it seemed like Fnatic didn't really realize what was going on, or didn't realize that those supports were missing. So, and now they're straight back to it, continuing to put a bit of pressure on Envy, though. He's not really feeling it in terms of the farm. They got 4 CS on this Luna and 15 and 5 on the Razor, so he's still doing fine.
That's the one issue. You might have some good lanes elsewhere for TNC, but Raven not really getting that much, and probably will continue to not get that much in the early stages of this game. Maybe they start getting him some more space and get a kill or two, but that doesn't seem to be happening yet. Tim's trying to contest a pull here from DJ. They popped the pendants, but Pili died, now walking up a little bit too late, so doesn't quite get the Earth Spike off, and also Raven and Cuckoo have rotated over just to make sure they could secure some, maybe CS, maybe some extra experience for them. They'll try to pull the creeps into this. They actually have the net now. The Riptide, there's the kinetic field. They got a good Earth Spike. Sensor Conqueror Stomp might keep Pili alive. There's the pendants, but Pili should fall. That second blood going the way of TNC, and it's Raven getting it plus a bounty rune. So turns out pretty well for TNC there.
Yeah, that's nice. Raven definitely needed a little bit of help, like we said, with the CS situation, since Fnatic across all 3 lanes doing well. Though Sam H has opted for some arcane boots this game. Last game he went for the bottle to sustain his mana up against Universe on the Enigma, but I wonder if this means he's going to consider a slightly different item build,
like Greaves
this game.
Perhaps. You don't think
maybe.
So? I mean, but I'm wondering why else he would build arcanes. Like, what other item would you think would be a good choice once you have...
He might just sit on the arcanes for a little bit to begin with. Maybe we'll see something like, I don't know if we'll see like a pipe or something come out, and then he can disassemble the arcanes later to maybe grab a Lotus. Always really nice to have against Tinker. I'm out very low on mid. Does have 1 charges and a Fairy Fire.
Tim's maybe falling low. They have the Ensnare up onto Envy. They won't be able to do enough. They'll back up.
I bet it's crazy.
Yeah, he has a haste rune. Armel,
laser in 1?
Just get out. He has no Astral. Wand charge is only at 1 at this point. They need a laser. Abed should have it ready. Yeah, oh, he got juked. But he's still looking. Haste rune's going to be done here in about 2 seconds. He can't find the kill. Very close, and this is going to be a pretty value shrine from TNC. They'll get 3 members in. Raven will try to CS spot him in the meantime. Static Link will go, but gets canceled immediately. But TNC, all things considered, across the 3 lanes, they're not doing that poorly. Suddenly, Raven's up to like 3rd in net worth with a kill and a couple of runes, and now he's ahead of Envy somehow. So that's pretty good.
Yeah, that's actually looking really good. His CS is a little bit deceptive. And another TNC attempt on the mid lane. This is being scattered, though.
Yeah, this ward is going to spot Cuckoo and Tim's, and DJ is already here to turn something around. Cuckoo walks up. He has Glimpse. He probably won't use it. This is a hefty dive. They're just going to harass. This is a drive-by for TNC. Okay, got the damage. See you later. Nice to meet you. And they're going to back up and grab an Arcane Rune for potentially the OD.
I'm just leaving it for now. Actually, Sam H wants to get involved.
Give me that.
He still got the bottle in the end. All right.
Creeps are just following him around too. Guys, hold on a second. I gotta get the Arcane Rune. Thanks. Now I'm gonna kill you all with Purification. The life of a creep.
They're so dumb, Mutt. these creeps, they just get led on merry chases all the time. If they just focus the objective.
They throw their lives away for the team. That's just, you're not going to find commitment like that anywhere else, honestly. Real good guys, these creeps.
All right, so big rotation all across the map from TNC. They're going to start farming up their Luna on the safe lane, switching Sam H over to the off lane. He's already got a decent amount of farm, so he can find bits and pieces here and there. And the DJ Chen really getting pinned down by that tri-lane from TNC. I feel like that was really what they were aiming for with going for the aggro try, was just forcing the Chen to respond and waste all of his time in the early game, kind of harassing and protecting bottom lane as opposed to rotating around and killing the other lanes. So that's worked out pretty well for them, and we'll see how DJ kind of recovers into this game, I suppose.
Jay was looking for the pendants on Cuckoo, but he's able to get himself back and away from the universe. The shockwave will hit Raven. They've dropped down the tornado now as well, just trying to make Raven's life a little bit harder. But I like how this has gone in the early game for TNC. Like you mentioned, keeping DJ shut down for the most part, and he's really not doing much even in the top lane with this tornado. He was trying to find something. In the meantime, TNC will drop a ward. I think they were spotted moving over in this direction with this ward, close to the other side of the river. So they might know that this ward's here, and they might deward it on the Uber Cliff.
All right. Abed kind of gets saved by the fact that the rune is not top. I think otherwise he may have run out and run straight into the disruptor and potentially died, but instead just going to be a regen for the OD. No Midas this time around for Armel. Just going to be going for the drum. Definitely a very nice item for his team this game, and just a nice item on OD in general. And I don't think anyone else is going to be... Oh, maybe Sam H is still going to be buying one. Does have a bracer picked up.
Yeah, we'll probably head down that road. Soul Ring done for the Tinker. Boots of Travel still a ways away, but he does have Soul Ring bottle as well as Boots of Speed. So he's doing okay. He's going to start marching some jungle camps and try to get up to decent farm. He's a little behind Armel right now, so that's good news. Bottom lane, they're going to make it go into Envy. They got the kinetic field. They got the purification. Good raindrops, the ensnarers there. Sam H doing a lot of damage, but he has to back up the towers, doing too much. And that means they can't get the kill. Very good raindrop usage from Envy. He actually cancels the TP. I'm not sure if that was intentional. Looks like they want to make something happen bottom. It was. Abed's coming in. Static Link should be available. And they're going to try to find Envy. He's getting lower and lower. They need a purification. They'll find it, and that will secure the kill. But now they're in deep, and they're going to lose Cuckoo. They might lose Tim to TP. Not in time. Samage will make it out, but it's going to be a 2-for-1. Great rotation and good cancel from Envy to say, let's fight bottom, and let's get some kills.
Yeah, I think he wanted the TP over to the shrine, but Abed had already just gone and used it, so it's like, oh, well, there's no point in completing this one. May as well just stick around here and see if we can do something. Abed doing something a little bit interesting on the Tinker. This is a pretty conservative build with, maxing your March just straight up, not trying to get too much harassment down in the lane or anything. But he's also buying TP scrolls, and then, he TP's bottom, rearms, TP's back to the fountain, buys another TP, and then TP's out to the tri-camp area to spam that out. So max efficiency on the Tinker.
He's getting to his bots pretty quickly now. All of a sudden, he's sitting at like 300 gold, gets a couple of kills, gets a couple of camps like you were mentioning, and now he's in a good spot. We talked a lot about the Fnatic vision real quick last game. This game, it's the TNC vision. They have 3 wards right in a line again, but this time it's on the opposite side. TNC doing it instead of Fnatic, so vision game pretty good, and this will allow TNC maybe to smoke and find a kill, but so too are Fnatic, and Raven's going to run right into Envy. The static link will go. The kinetic field should stop the lane, but it's going to be at least 45 damage stolen. Pilot Eye was looking for initiation. The glimpse back. I am... Okay, we're
stick the landing, Mott. Stick the landing.
The landing has been stuck. Let me tell you that.
All right, nice. All right, they really wanted... So... I don't think that this way that Abed's been playing is necessarily like a faster way to farm his Blink, but I think the more important... He's getting jumped on here, but he'll be okay. I think the more important point is that they wanted to give mid lane to Pi, and so he kind of... So that Pi could get level 6 and they could immediately go and get a Finger of Death gank, which is what they were looking for on that Luna, but it didn't really pan out. They still get the tower though, so nicely timed with the catapult, and they've also got, the DJ catapult in there for good measure, healing up a couple of creeps. So nice timing push, even though they didn't exactly get the use that they were hoping to out of the Finger of Death.
Man, this is quite the close game. Bots are now up with the Tinker. There is finally a push being commenced by DJ. He doesn't have his Hand of the God yet, but he's getting close to his level 6. He's got a creep army to work with. They'll try to push this here too. They're going to get the ensnare into Cuckoo. Oh, the link has been broken. It might be time to back the Centaur Conqueror stop. They've got the Hand of God. Good purification from Sam H though in time. They'll send MD back. DJ will try to TP. He gets glimpsed away. They could have glimpsed ND, but they decided DJ was the bigger target, rather the only target they could get, and they do get it. But they will lose some damage out of the tower because they have 2 siege creeps, one stolen by the Chen. A lot of damage being dealt to a tier 2 only for 10 kills. Actually, they just glyphed 2 siege creeps, but it did so much extra damage. That is pretty impressive, and Fnatic really getting some structural damage to this tier 2 tower in the top lane.
Dire's middle tower is under fire.
Pi? Fine? Yes. Maybe.
Potentially. They can't see him at the moment. He's gonna TP in the trees to this bottom.
That's a great TP.
Yeah, this whole cluster of trees is actually just so easy to TP out in. There's so many little corners and places where you're gonna get fogged. So Pi's okay. He didn't even TP all the way out. He just TP'd back to the tower, ready to defend just in case TNC tried to keep on shoving forward. Universe is just going to be rushing up a pipe this game. Definitely nice to have against the static storm damage, the Sanity's Eclipse, and the other Eclipse from the Luna.
Oh yes.
So nice choice.
And Luna has picked up a Mask of Madness. This game is exceedingly close at 13 minutes. It's less than a 1k lead for TNC now. So I don't know who makes the first big move in terms of finding a fight or more towers, but it's looking good for both teams. Both teams have decent late game too, for the most part. I guess you got a Luna on one side, you got a Tinker on the other side. Very interesting to see who's going to come out on top.
Yeah, it's actually this game's going to be super interesting. I think one of the most important things is going to be whether or not Fnatic get a relatively early Roshan. They do have a lineup that's actually quite capable of getting a sneaky Rosh. Like, they've got the Firestorm, they've got a medallion that they picked up on the Chen, and they've got the Tinker to go and kind of manage all the lanes in the meantime. So I would not put it past Eternal Envy to find a sneaky Rosh, and then the Aegis could give them an opportunity to start building up a bit of a lead. But at the same time, TNC have this crazy team fight, so Fnatic are going to have to be really careful about how they make their approaches, and if they botch an engagement, that's where you're not going to escape at all against the Naga Siren and the Disruptor. You're just going to get heroes glimpsed back, heroes netted, and they're going to lose a bunch. So Fnatic have to pick their spots really carefully.
We might see a big fight here in a moment. Fnatic, Pylai is going to probably tank the gank so that Envy may leave. They're going to try to Song, but he gets hexed in the meantime. The Thunderstrike coming in. There's the Earthspike. Envy going to get glimpsed back, though, and that could be trouble. He's going to Massive Madness, so he can't lose in Beam, but the Static Storm Kinetic Field is going to get dropped, and so they don't even need to use Song. The catch is very good. Even if you miss out on the Song or on the Ensnare because the Naga gets hexed or stunned, you still have the Glimpse to fall back on. You have a Lucid Beam to work with, too.
Tinker's in prison. They're TPing in.
This might be a big kill. Abed going to get caught in Ensnare. There's the Riptide. And enough damage to get the kill from Armel, who gets off a couple of Arcane Orbs. 2 big kills, in fact, for TNC. 2 big cores drop down, and that's going to get Armel now up to the top of the net worth chart and closer to that Blink Dagger that he's going for. But, are they going to make it go? I thought they might. Maybe more lockdown. Razor is coming in.
Not easy to start, and there's a Force Staff on the OD, so... Yeah, alright. Gonna take that Siege Creep and just start looking at the Tier 1. There is still the Song of the Siren available to set up, but no Static Storm for 30 seconds. Armel does have his ultimate now.
Tower's gonna get glyphed. Gonna try to get a Riptide off. So many illusions sent through. Siege Creep's now gone. Kinetic Field is up on the Universe, but he's pretty tanky. He also has Dark Rift. Bit of Malice, Static Link, good force away from Armel. Very well done. Static Link is immediately broken. He gets only 3 damage, which is not a lot. And they will kind of slow things down. Fnatic are to keep themselves parked in this mid lane, though. They want to take this Tier 1 tower down one way or the other. So they're going to be able to, though.
They do have stuff going on, though, on the side of Fnatic. Even though they've got a bunch of heroes sitting there, the creeps from DJ are actually pushing out the top lane and finding him some farm. The Tinker's just respawning, and he's able to go and sponge up a bunch of the farm on the map. So it's not a huge loss for Fnatic to end up sitting around there. Universe is going to be going for a Heaven's Halberd now after he's finished up the pipe, so just trying to make life difficult for the OD. Also pretty value against the Luna this game, so yeah. I like the choice, but especially getting that long duration Halberd on the OD is going to be super annoying for him. And Fnatic with another smoke, another attempt at a Finger of Death gank. They really like playing around this timing. They also like playing around, like when they play Rasta, they did the exact same thing around their Mass Serpent Wards. It's just generally good Dota, but it looks like they might only find the Naga Siren.
Oh, someone is TPing. That's Abed. All right, well, Naga tried getting off the Song. Didn't happen. Earth Spike. Finger not even needed. A nice gank, but again, like you talked about, it's only a Naga. It's only Tim, so we saw him tank the gank numerous times in the last game on that CK.
Yep. I think you're TPing on top of Sam H here, but Abed does have the blink now, so a little bit more safe.
Envy. CP missiles come out. Armel gonna back himself up. And he picked up a Dragon Lance. He actually had the Blink Dagger in his quick buy for Armel, but now he's just gonna fix up the Hurricane Pike instead. The Tier 1 tower in the top lane, the Siege Creep. It does get the kill on it. Can they escape scot-free is the question. They're going to try to turn this. Armel needs to be careful. Good Static Storm, though, and now they're just going to... No, Pylai gets sent back. Nice timing coming in, but Tim's still looking for somebody. DJ. Universe is going to try to Dark Rift him away. Good glimpse. It might be enough to keep him alive, and DJ actually is going to get caught and killed because of that beautiful glimpse. And they at least get something after losing that Tier 2 tower. That was real nifty from Cuckoo. That's the word I'd like to use, nifty.
Yeah. if they'd waited a tiny bit longer, they might have been able to get the universe kill instead. Like if the glimpse had been running after the Dark Rift went off. But still, nice to get the kill on the Chen. The send back was also really nice. So the static storm's on cooldown for a little bit. Maybe a slight window for Fnatic to go and like clean up this mid tower. But they're doing such a good job of this playstyle that I was talking about when they, like after they saw the team fight come out from TNC, they were like, yeah, sure. Have your team fight. We're just gonna split push. We got Chen creeps going here. We got March of the Machines going here. We've got the Underlord spamming out some Firestorm elsewhere. Fnatic still have all their tier 1s and they're taking tier 2s. This very ratty style of gameplay is working for them, and it's only gonna get worse once they pick up this Ags on the Chen, which he is steadily working towards. Still quite a ways to go, but I'm sure DJ is gonna get it eventually.
So then the question becomes, how do you deal with this if you're TNC? I mean, you can
I think they need
so many times.
I think they need some BOTs somewhere. I'd like to see some bots on maybe the Luna in like another item or two. I think that's sort of how they manage this situation somewhat, because their heroes are also relatively difficult to catch. So I think if they had the option to have somebody pushing the lanes and then be able to still TP to the team, that would help them deal with some of this split push, not necessarily all of it. I think Fnatic's still going to be the better split pushing team overall, but they just have to find a way to break out of this. They could also just try and chain use all of their smokes and get some pickoffs and make Fnatic a little bit more scared. Also, buying a gem at some point is going to be really important.
I was just going to say, vision is another advantage. They actually saw a smoke that Fnatic were using because of a mid lane ward, and now they're going to use their own smoke, knowing that Fnatic's is done.
Oh. Abed walks right down into them.
And Abed is the one that's going to get caught, and he is dead. Hand of God comes in way too late. Song of the Siren, they're going to try to find a sleep onto Envy, and they do. And this is a big target. They should have Static Storm available. They do. They're going to drop it down potentially. They might not even need it. They're going to try to Dark Rift back, and they get it in time. The glimpse comes in, but it's onto DJ, and it actually brings him further away. Universe actually was able to get out of the song, precast the Dark Rift, and the perfect timing window gets him out of there, and Envy along with it. And in the meantime, the top tier 3 tower getting assaulted by Tims, and he's or rather getting assaulted by the creeps, the Chen creeps of DJ, and Tims will try to deal with it. Meanwhile, back mid, they've got the root. Earth Split comes out. Armel looking for Pylai Die, and he might find him. He's got the Sandy. He's not dropping him Static Storm. They're going to find Universe. They're fighting too much. The Eclipse comes in. They've got the Astral onto Envy to set up another kill, potentially. Purification up into Envy is just dead. I cannot believe Fnatic walked into that, and they just lost pretty much everybody for that fight. It is now a 7K lead for TNC after a gigantic turnaround.
Why'd they fight that?
I don't know.
That was a very strange decision. Like I was just talking about how I think the whole Fnatic game plan is just to take as few team fights as humanly possible, and they walk right into that one. Sure, the song had been used, but as we saw, Cuckoo is still monstrous in the fights with his kinetic field Static Storm. They'd already built up stacks on the OD, so he just hammered the Underlord instantly. All of his survivability basically meant nothing, and off of the back of that, TNC going to take the Rosh. So that sneaky Roshan that I was talking about being maybe the answer for Fnatic to actually take some crucial fights and build up a bit of a lead, that's off the table, and it feels like we're in the same situation as last game. Mott, all of a sudden TNC with a huge lead.
Smoke, it felt like a desperation smoke for Fnatic, and they run right into Cuckoo, who gets off a kinetic field, but he himself might die. Maybe they can turn this good force away. Pit of Malice misses. They've got the purification to keep him alive. Abed spamming the lasers, just trying to do whatever he can. This actually will push TNC back. They want to find something. Cuckoo, CMH, whoever would be nice. Drum charges popped. I mean, they might only get this disruptor out of this. He will maybe die. They're going to continue to spam these heat-seeking missiles. He's still not dead yet. They can give him another purification and a repel, and they actually can't get this disruptor. They're going to chase up the high ground. The ancient Prowler Shamans come down from the high ground to get off at least one of those roots. That was a pretty good hurricane fight from Armel as well. Now Envy getting jumped on. They've got the root. No sanities available, but they've got the repel into Armel. That's one dead. There's the kinetic field. Static Storm. Abed's going to fall. It's all unraveling for Fnatic. They're going to lose 3, and they might lose potentially more. They get the glimpse back into Pylai Die. They're going to get a 4th kill. The Earth Spike will save him for now, but he's still in trouble. CMH chasing him down. They've got to force it in a few seconds. In fact, they've got it now, but they just need one auto attack. They're going to try to find a 5th Universe, trying to Dark Rift away. Is it going to be in time? It will not. All 5 dead. Fnatic It is just unraveling right in front of them, and now it is high ground push. It is tier 3. It is Rax. It is no buybacks for Fnatic. TNC, they will strike first blood in terms of tier 3 tower and the Rax.
Another just close for a while, and then TNC find one big opportunity, and it just feels like they're just going to end the whole game. 17k net worth lead, you know, make it almost 20k. The tier 2s are still, I mean, it's still tier 1 standing up top for Fnatic. I was just praising them like a few minutes ago for the fact that they still had all of their tier 1s, and TNC just kind of grab a couple of items and away they go. I still don't think Fnatic have any business team fighting TNC at all.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Maybe once you get the eggs on the Tinker, but even then, just either the Luna or the OD is going to be repelled, and you don't really have an answer for that. So
that tier 1 tower that we talked about, why did they fight that? That fight felt pretty backbreaking. And then on top of it, Fnatic smoked. The smoke broke. They tried chasing this disruptor down for ages. They clearly wanted to get anything out of that smoke, but then TNC turned around and they kill all of them after they chase across the river to TNC's home turf, if you will. And they take a fight and they win it. And now what was good split push happening from Fnatic is barely hanging on at this point. They've lost a set of Rax mid that all continue to push in. They're going to lose their shrines. I mean, this is TNC just balled out of control for the last 5 minutes after taking what Fnatic gave them.
Yeah, and at this point, it feels like TNC can just, like, they can just death ball a second lane. A bunch of Fnatic's previous split push prowess is now being forced to just keep spamming out mid. You know, Abed has to spend a bunch of time there, which is super annoying for him. It means that TNC can actually keep the lanes over on the Radiant side of the map. And that whole Fnatic, I think, like, Fnatic plan A is gone. Fnatic plan B is also kind of gone. I'm not really sure what they do at this stage.
Yeah, they don't have that, like, big team fight potential to come back in. Like we talked about this in the draft. They just don't have the same type of fight that TNC have. There's no big ultimate to turn a fight around. They don't have that really big late game carry other than a Tinker who's not the type of carry that I was thinking of. You know, and Razor is super far behind now. He's just only about to get his BKB, and that item is not going to do enough against what TNC have. Let's get a list of items that TNC just bought. A Hurricane
Meteor Hammer,
a full Manta style on him. They have the Meteor Hammer now for Tim's that you just talked about, which is on his stash. They just picked up a pipe, or no, they've had that pipe for a while for SamH, but they picked up the Lincoln Sphere for RML. I mean, they have so many items now that it is insane to deal with if you are Fnatic.
Yeah, and this game fell apart so quickly. I think in part I wanted to, like, we talked about it a tiny bit earlier, and I said that against this TNC lineup you have to pick your spots so carefully because they don't let you go. Once you're engaged in that team fight, they're super clingy. You're gonna get glimpsed, you're gonna get slept. Nobody's making it out alive if you commit to a 5v5 and you start losing. So I think that's really what we've seen happen. Oh no, an Abed now.
They found Abed, and he's going to get caught. The laser will not keep him alive. The Lucent Beam up into the high ground. Tim's with a great play. Armel will find another. It's Pilot Eye. That's a little bit less significant of a kill, but Abed is dead for 50 seconds, and now it is time for TNC to get these lanes back in order and pushed across the river.
Oh boy. I think TNC are going to DAC, Mott.
I think you might be right, my friend. Yep, 24k advantage. It's not over yet, but I mean, the fat lady is definitely warming up at this point, so see how it goes. They will push into the tier 3 tower, and here we go. The Meteor Hammer drops. The Death Ball, it commences. They will glyph, but again, Abed down for 12 seconds. Aegis is gone. Song. Tim's is going to set something up. They found maybe 3. At the very least 2. They're going to find Underlord as well as the Envy, but Envy's got a BKB. He gets it off in time. He will do some work, but now the SamH blows away the Underlord. SamH gets imprisoned just so that he can stay alive. He is pretty low. Envy's doing a lot of damage now. Good GA, but the finger brings it down. So far, not so bad for Fnatic. They'll push this back for now, and they will reset and keep that tier 3 tower in the top lane alive. So good hold so far for Fnatic.
All right.
Abed goes bottom immediately as well.
All right. So I don't think the win condition for Fnatic has changed too much. They get this Chen eggs, they keep splitting the map like crazy, and they just utilize the Chen push. And while they're moving, like while they're bouncing TNC around all over the place, they're hopefully finding pickoffs with the Lion and whatnot. It seemed like they just got caught off guard by the Envy BKB there. Like, I guess nobody clicked on the hero, nobody checked his inventory. Because they dropped everything expecting those two heroes to just both instantly die, and just like, psych, I have BKB, and they only managed to kill off Universe. But they're still super far ahead.
I can understand the mistake though, where they don't click on Envy. You're feeling good. You're feeling like, all right, we're about to get to a major potentially. Yeah. Start feeling like you can do no wrong perhaps, but they'll. It's not a giant mistake. Yes, they lose Sam H, but they still have pretty good map control. Abed is going to have to do a lot of work to keep the waves pushed. Violet Eye is trying to D-ward, but Kuku's going to find him with a kinetic field of Thunderstrike, and now he's going to get glimpsed back and probably killed. There it is, and see ya. And now RML is beyond godlike, and that's going to be the next item coming out, which is going to be a Moon Shard, by the way, interestingly enough.
Maybe a slightly weird item choice. I think in a closer game he probably buys Hex, but again, I think TNC are potentially in the mindset of like, ah, yeah, we probably won this game, but they need to make sure that they just push it over the line, right? Fnatic are, an Eternal Envy especially, he's pulled off some crazy stuff in the past. I don't know if he can do it this time around, but he's gonna try for damn sure. If there's anything that Jackie Mao is, it's a try hard.
They're gonna do their damnedest to keep this game going.
I mean, look, they're cutting waves with creeps. This is the Fnatic classic. They still have backdoor protection disabled because of mid though, so
that's not gonna help them too much.
No.
This Godzilla Luna will continue to just push and take the racks pretty much free. Not much they can do against a repelled Luna, and they will grab that set of racks in the top lane, and they are one set of racks for Megas, potentially winning this game, this series, and moving on to DAC. They can't back to Roche, not yet anyways, because it's still down for another 45 seconds or so. And Abed will just continue to keep this one wave push, this one lane where they actually still have racks. They need to keep it pushed out as possible. But you can see TNC are setting up for something. They've got a ward. They've got some vision inside the base. Envy would be a nice target to catch, but he's got his BKB. They want to force it out. The kinetic field will go. Good force away from Kuku, trying to keep him alive. Armel repelled up, trying to find something, but the initiation wasn't quite there. Everybody back in the base for Fnatic, ready to fight. And Armel is repelled. He'll get himself forced back. They're going to head towards that Roche pit. It is up in 15. They do lose their tier 2 tower in the bottom lane. So now there is kind of a threat here, at least for some creeps to get into the base if you're not careful. Abed will TP in, cancels it as he was going on to the siege creeps, decides against it, but Tims will clear out the wave with these illusions, or at least attempt to.
Yeah, they're doing every little thing that they can, but at this point, I do think that TNC can probably just keep chucking repel on Luna, like get off 3 auto attacks on the building, back up, send some Manta illusions up. They should be able to close this game out pretty much no matter what this point. They can go grab Roshan if they want it. Why not? It's right there. Armel does grab an AC instead.
Yeah, he had the double moon share, but I think this is probably a better decision, all things considered. And they will give this Aegis to Luna, potentially, and the Chiefs to Armel, or vice versa. Yes. Correct the first time around. Okay.
I'm trying to see where this opportunity is going to be for Fnatic. Unfortunately, DJ has his scepter, but he only has 1 creep because he just hasn't been able to really leave the base.
Yeah, how are you supposed to get out to get an ancient creep at this point? Good luck. Like, your map is gone, pretty much. Your map control in general is just very limited.
Yeah, and the waves are slowly being pushed in. The thing is that TNC can just kind of sit here and cut on this side as well. Oops. Hex up.
I'll tell you, if Fnatic are able to come back from this, it would be a comeback for the ages, even if they're not down from Megas just yet. They might be here in a moment. They're about to kill Envy if they're not careful. The Glibs are bouncing. They'll send it back from VJ. Good timing there to get him back to the base. Back to the well. TNC again. It's just the slow siege. They've already done a fair amount of chip damage with just 1 trip up to the high ground, and Raven will go again. They will hex him. They have the repel available. The Pit of Malice, they're going to try to blow him up, but again, there's that repel drop down at a Raven. He's fine. He pops the man to this tier 3, getting blown up. There is going to be the Meteor Hammer, but they will glyph in time. The Force back on the Raven, the Purification, and rinse, repeat, essentially. Just keep doing this over and over again. If you're TNC, you are so close, you can taste it. Raven will go back up, repelled, pitted mouse, drop down, canceled instead of Universe. The Glaives will start bouncing through the racks and onto the rest of the players. They'll pop the Crimson Guard, but still, TNC don't seem to be deterred at this point. They'll keep on going. Glimpse onto Envy. Very short glimpse. They can't find anything with it. Astral drop down to do Armel just so we can avoid too much damage here. Raven will go back up to the high ground to repel going. Lucid Beam, Envy in trouble. Pops the BKB in time. Static League also gets off the hand of the god, but Envy's about to lose his BKB here, and he needs to be careful. He's out of real HP. He's very low. DJ can send him back, but they need to be careful.
Man, Armel's getting antsy. They could win this game by just repelling the Luna over and over. He doesn't have to do anything. I guess it also doesn't matter what he does.
He wants to force. Envy's going to get dropped. The static from he's going to have to buy back now. They're so close. The Eclipse will go. Pilot will fall. No buyback for him. Meteor Hammer's going to get dropped. It's going to be Megas for TNC. They're going to song. They can back or they can choose to fight. And it looks like they will back. They'll make the safe play. Tims will TP himself home. TNC will back together as a team, entering through the mid lane into the enemy jungle. They have gotten Megas. All they need to do is wait out Fnatic and just make the right plays, and you have won this game and a trip to DAC, and Fnatic are on their last legs in this qualifier.
Yep. I mean, Fnatic looks like they're gonna fight it out to the bitter end, but I don't think they have much of a hope. The fact that TNC can be like doing the things that they're doing and still Fnatic aren't able to punish anything. Like Armel blinks into the base and hits the ancient black dragon for a little bit. Like, this doesn't it doesn't really matter. So long as Raven doesn't like go and run into the enemy fountain. I think he probably even could if he wanted to. But there you go, repelled Luna once again.
Raven will be run out a little bit. Armel's going to come through. They've found Abed on the Tinker in the trees, but he's going to get out. The laser keeps refracting. Good GA, but the Earth Spike onto 2. They got the finger, but Armel's still fine. Now Envy's going to get ensnared, and this might be a death, and that is going to be him down. No buyback. Dead for 68. DJ might be next. Good Astral to come through. That'll keep him in place. They have plenty of damage, and DJ will try to fight, but nothing he can do. He's going to get dropped down. 2 dead for 53, and GG is called. TNC, they might have a pizza party, but I can guarantee you all 5 of these players are going to the major, and congrats to them. They'll make it through the SCA qualifiers, through the lower bracket, and be the second team to join Mineski alongside and head to DAC 2018.
They did well. I mean, we saw something a little bit different for them this game with the Naga Siren. I don't know if it really changed too much. The Disruptor looked really good. They stuck to their guns. They had Kuko on they had Raven on their like relatively aggressive carry. They pushed well. I like their drafting. I feel like this is another one of these games potentially where Fnatic outdrafted themselves a little bit, but at the same time, TNC made this what I think was potentially the game-winning move of running the aggressive tri-lane. They didn't even get very much farm on the Luna early on, but they protected those other 2 lanes. They knew that they had the strength of this OD Omni, or they knew that they could bring the Luna back into the game a little bit later on, and Fnatic got punished so hard for those, like, the first time that they got caught. So when Abe got caught, I don't think that was necessarily a mistake, but taking those 2 fights, to me, just completely, that ended their game right then and there. So congrats to TNC, I think much deserved.